Hi there. So today I am just sitting in my study. It's really fucking hot here. Um, I normally do paintings when it's hot, but I don't really feel like painting today. I just want to chill out. I don't have any AC. I only have a ceiling fan. So you can probably see my hair blowing around a little bit crazy, but that's okay. So today I just wanted to make a little video talking about living in Nepal. Yeah, it's a mixed bag, really. So let's get into it. Now, first, I'll go into a pro. Let's start positive. So, the country itself, Nepal, it is a beautiful country. It has a lot of natural beauty. It is landlocked, surrounded by mountains, surrounded by the Himalayas, and honestly, it's breathtaking. It has a lot of really beautiful trekking trails. I couldn't think of the word. A lot of beautiful trekking trails right up to the mountains, into the mountains, and the views are stunning, like so beautiful. You won't see anything else like in the world. A lot of people will compare the Nepali mountains with the mountains in Switzerland. And while I do think there are similarities, the mountains in Nepal are different in the way that there's a lot more ruggedness and a lot more difference in terrain. You can get some really beautiful lush green mountains. You can get some rugged, rough, rocky mountains, really barren mountains, a barren landscape, snowy mountains, and they're all so beautiful. I'll see if I can clip in some pictures here just to sort of give you an example. But you can find some exceptionally beautiful mountains in Nepal for trekking and even just sightseeing. You can even get jeeps, four-wheel drive services going up to them. There's also beautiful jungles here too. I'll just slip that in. I won't go into it too much because I want to get on to the next point. Another pro would be just generally the lower cost of living. The only other two countries I have lived in besides Nepal are Australia. I am Australian. You can probably hear my accent a little bit. Although it's kind of mixed, I've traveled around quite a bit. And I am also a UK citizen. Now, both those countries are very expensive. Services there are crazy expensive. You can probably see I've got braces on at the moment. Very glamorous. And the cost of these was, in comparison to Australia or the UK, crazy affordable. I mean, not even a quarter of the cost. I think these in total for absolutely everything was about, I think something like 600-700 Aussie dollars in total, including all the little bits and pieces that need done in the meantime, the tightenings, everything. All that price, all about $600 Aussie, which isn't cheap, but comparatively to Australia, UK, it's actually affordable. But that's just one example. Eating out, food obviously is a lot cheaper, just general groceries, going outside to eat food, depending on where you go. If you need domestic help, like a nannying service, if you need a cleaner, and also other healthcare services are just so much more affordable here. If you need scans done, treatments, I'm going through IVF at the moment. The IVF treatments here are ridiculously more affordable than you would find in the West. There is a very good sense of community in Nepal is another pro. People here look out for one another, close-knit communities as a whole, families, neighbors, they all know each other, they all check in on each other. It's just really lovely to see. The culture in Nepal is very rich. There's a lot of spirituality here. There are festivals almost every other day, especially towards the end of the year around October time. There are just so many festivals. Dashain, oh gosh, what's another one? Tihar, just to name a few. We've got the Buddha's birthday. There are so many festivals. I can't tell you what exactly the days are because they run on a different calendar to the one I'm familiar with. And I'm really bad at reading the Nepali calendar. They run by lunar calendar, which is all governed by the moon, which is lovely, beautiful. I just cannot read it, unfortunately. I don't know how yet. So my husband will need to teach me. I do not know. Just a bit too stupid. Now, what else? So going back into food here and the affordability, that is one thing, amazing. But also the local produce here, a lot of it is organic. A lot of it is grown within Nepal, or at least very close by. Some of it comes from India as well, but a majority is grown here. And that's quite rare to find these days, especially living in the West. You usually find it all is exported, coming from outside the country. So within Nepal, a lot of it is organically grown. That's just how they grow things here. A lot of the fruits and vegetables will still have their seeds, which is really important too, especially because people here would like to grow their own things. And I think in the West, they're trying to get rid of the seeds in fruits and vegetables, and that's quite sad. They're trying to make all the fruits and vegetables sterile. So the fact that they are organic, they still have the seeds inside them. It just shows you how much healthier these fruits and vegetables probably are. And so the number one con, traffic. So I live on one of the busiest, well, I'm not in the middle of the road, but I live next to one of the busiest roads in Kathmandu, and it's hectic all day, all night. Beep, 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 beep. Constant horn honking, just constant noise of traffic, constant fumes. It's just never ending, the vibration of huge trucks going by. And it's something else, the trucks and the buses here, they have really, really loud horns. I don't know if I can show you right now, but it's just like a loud, like kind of sound. It's so loud. It'll definitely wake you up if you're not used to it. And yeah, it could just be really tiring. The traffic here is a lot. And my husband actually drives his father's car around here. He's able to drive within Nepal legally. And he's actually quite used to the traffic. It's not too bad if you get used to it. You just need to not expect to be anywhere in a great hurry. The traffic is quite slow, and it's, in a way, it's not too difficult to drive here, in that there aren't really very many rules, if any rules at all. It's more that you just need to be careful not to hit anyone, because people just weave in and out of traffic. People just walk onto the road at any old point. There are zebra crossings, but people don't really care, just drive straight through them. So pedestrians as well as people driving need to be careful. There's a lot of motorcycles as well that, again, they just weave in and out of the traffic, and it can be quite intense, quite hectic. So yeah, the traffic is another con, or I'd say probably the number one con. It also contributes to a lot of the air pollution. So the pollution in Nepal, air pollution more than anything else, does actually come from the diesel fume vehicles. A lot of the motorbikes are still running on diesel fume or petrol fumes. It just leak out of them. It's always stinking. The big trucks and buses that come out of India, they're really, really old, and they do run on diesel fume. And you can see the black plumes out of the exhaust. You have to wear a mask. If you're on a motorbike or a scooter, you have to wear a face mask, or else you're just going to be inhaling those fumes, and it just can't be good for your lungs. I used to be a runner before I moved to Nepal. I can't really go running where we are. Some people do, and I know that and understand. There are some people that do come to Nepal, and maybe they are in a different location to where I am based. But where I am, it's not feasible for me to go running. I can't go out and run here. There's just so much fumes, and I don't want to run with a face mask on. It's so hot. I sweat a lot. I'm a sweaty girl. I don't need that. I'll have to stick with the gym and, doing my treadmill stuff. I do miss running outside. And I do miss the nature. There's another point. So I know earlier in the video, I did talk about Nepal having a lot of natural beauty, and it absolutely does. I do not retract at that point. But within Kathmandu, nature is limited. There is nowhere really to walk on the grass, to feel the grass between your toes, to walk around and enjoy nature. There are some really little isolated pockets here and there. But as a whole, if you compare it to, say, Australia or even London, they have proper big allocated parks, like Richmond Park in London is a good example. where they allocate, nature just existing. They don't really have that in Kathmandu. In Nepal, yes, but you have to get out of the main cities. Pokhara, I would say, has a lot more nature compared to Kathmandu. I haven't been to some of the other... I know there are a few more little sort of cities around Nepal. It's not just Pokhara and Kathmandu, but my main experience is in Kathmandu because that's where I live, and I have visited Pokhara a couple of times. Pokhara does have some more sort of nature to it. It has like a nice pond and a nice park there as well. But Kathmandu, unfortunately, is a bit more limited, and it would be really nice if they were able to maybe create a few more sort of naturey areas or parks, I think, where people could just sit, talk and maybe do some work outside, and also where there's some shade and trees and just nature as well. And that would also help with the air pollution. Now, the reason there aren't parks here, a lot of it has to do with the infrastructure. So there just isn't really the space at the moment because Kathmandu wasn't really planned to be as big as it was. It was all kind of scrapped together because more people came in from the villages, and as the city grew in population, houses were just kind of built in any old place. Buildings were just kind of built in any old place, things were just put anywhere. And because of that, there's no real room for parks now. Everything is just kind of squashed in and congested. And because of this, the infrastructure issues, this has also led to piping roads being built on top of piping that the houses use, and ends up crushing pipes. So people will always be digging up the roads to get to their piping. The cars go over the road and the piping, and just kind of all that pressure over time squashes the pipes. So you'll always see Nepali people digging up the roads everywhere you go in Kathmandu. I don't really see it in Pokhara, I don't think. Or even anywhere else really for that matter, but definitely in Kathmandu, you will always see big holes in the roads, despite the roads being paved, because people just dig them up constantly. In fact, my husband and I always joke that if digging holes was a national sport, Nepal would definitely be top in that. You should add it to the Olympics. So obviously there's always going to be more pros. This is just my experience living here, I think one more thing is just the earthquake risk. I haven't actually experienced any earthquakes since living here. Oh, actually, no, that's not true. I have experienced 2 extremely small earthquakes since moving here. But they were tiny. They were so tiny. It's more that I just kind of woke up in the middle of the night and I was kind of like swaying a little bit. And then it stopped. As soon as it started, it stopped. My husband and I are always kind of panicked that there will be another big earthquake. But touch wood, fingers crossed, we haven't experienced really anything. And in the past year, we haven't experienced any earthquakes. Those 2 little earthquakes that we did experience when we first moved here about 2 years ago, there hasn't really been anything since. Fingers crossed, touch wood, again, there won't be. But I haven't experienced anything so far. Now, what have I experienced here that I didn't expect? So, when I first started coming to Nepal over 10 years ago, well over 10 years ago, excuse me, I didn't expect to see coffee here. I know some people probably don't really think coffee's a big deal. Me and my husband love coffee. Like, oh my goodness, coffee is one of my favorite things. I cannot function without like a proper delicious bean coffee, like a freshly brewed coffee. When I first came here, there was nothing. There was chia, masala chia, which is very delicious. It's quite rich and lovely, but it's not a coffee. It's not a proper coffee. When you haven't had a coffee for quite a while, you're craving a coffee. You want that coffee. So there is coffee here now, and it's good quality coffee. You can go out to any region of Kathmandu, and you will most likely find a proper beans brewed coffee cafe kind of place to get a nice coffee. You can get some really good coffees anywhere around Kathmandu, Pokhara, and even all around the outskirts. You can find a pretty good bean brewed coffee, which is very surprising to us because we hadn't seen that before. And it wasn't until after living here, and I mean the coffee culture is really up and coming. It's becoming quite a booming business. And that as well being said, there are a lot of really nice cafes opening up here. Cafes and restaurants, like quite bougie actually. Really surprising. Just because my husband grew up here, and he grew up here, he's in his mid-40s now. When he was growing up here, there was nothing like that, you know. He had been away from Nepal for so long. He wasn't expect to see such luxurious, fancy restaurants and cafes. And now that they are here, and they're not, I mean, they're not cheap, but they're not like overly priced either. It's quite good. It's really nice to see, especially the coffee. The coffee's the main one. Excuse me, my throat is really croaky today. It's probably all the air pollution. I'm just kidding. The last thing I'm gonna leave it on is gyms. I actually, we are very big fitness people, as I said earlier with the running. I love lifting weights. My husband loves lifting weights. And gym culture is definitely on the rise here. When I first started coming to Nepal over 10 years ago, there were no gyms anywhere. And if there was a gym, it was like a tiny shack with like, I don't know, like maybe a couple of like really dodgy, like, I don't know, dumbbells or something. Now there's like proper gyms. They have all the equipment, all the proper weight equipment, everything you could need, all the essential things. The stuff that's interesting about the gyms here, they give you 2 optional memberships. So the first membership is for the weights, the free weights, Smith machine, leg press, hip thrust machine, all that stuff that doesn't require electricity. And then you've got the cardio equipment, you know, the treadmill, elliptical stairmaster. The stuff that does require electricity, you'll actually need to pay more for it. It's kind of like 2 different types of membership. You can get one with the cardio or one without the cardio. The cardio one is really expensive because of the electricity. So go figure, that's kind of crazy, huh? So if you want to use the cardio equipment, you're going to have to pay a lot more money. For our gym, we are paying 3,000 rupee per person, so 6,000 in total. It's not the cheapest gym ever for sure, but it's definitely not the most expensive. You can find really expensive gyms here that are pretty good quality too. But you can also find ones cheaper than ours if you wanted one that was a little more affordable. We just really like the variety of different equipment we've got there. And also the community in the gym is really nice too, so it's nice to see. I'm also going to finish up with one more thing, which is a little random, but beauty services in Nepal are actually really good too, and I would say quite affordable. I would even compare it to Turkey. So I haven't really gotten very much done. My husband recently got a hair transplant. When I say recently, it was like a good year ago. But the results are really good. The services are really good. The doctors are very professional. Everything is handled in a really good manner. I mean, I've seen some horror stories coming out of Turkey and other places. I would say I haven't had anything done in Turkey, no. But I would say it's probably at least as good as Turkey. I have had some facials done. I've had some Botox done. Absolutely not recently. But yeah, I have had Botox done in the past here. All the services are very good, very reasonable in terms of pricing. And yeah, I would honestly continue to use the beauty services again. So those are just a few pros and cons about living in Nepal. Some of them as well, like just little explanations of things that you could do here, things that are kind of interesting or things that are on the up and up. And things that you probably wouldn't really expect out of Nepal, just because I know a lot of people come here, you know, as tourists, and they expect maybe just to go trekking or just to do touristy kind of things, maybe to see all the temples and stupas. But there is so much more to Nepal than just going and doing all the touristy stuff. You can actually, you know, do a few more like luxurious things. There is some good stuff here. There's a lot of good stuff here if you know where to find it. Alright, so that's my little video done. I'm just a foreigner living in Nepal. Obviously, a local is going to know everything so much more than me. I'm just a slow little white girl. So if you live in Nepal, if you're interested in visiting Nepal, coming here, if you have been here for a short while or you've been here for a long time, if you've lived here your whole life, you can drop a comment. If you disagree with me, that's totally okay. You're allowed to disagree with me. This is just my opinion. My opinion doesn't mean it's 1,000% correct. So if you have anything you'd like to add to what I've said, or if you disagree, anything at all, you can drop it in the comments below. And yeah, thanks for watching my little video. Bye.